Get to you, me tell you, say no lose time in a Babylon. Chant me a, chant
Thanking
me
you,
a, chant
Kareem Gibbs, for
forward.
accepting
Get
the
to you, me
interview.
tell you, say no lose
Um, this is Lango podcast. We try to understand people from, especially from Aruba or has a connection with Aruba
Yeah.
that is producing music, doing music, and want to share their experience. So
All right.
today I'm happy to have you here, Kareem. And yeah, the first question I have for you is like, introduce yourself. Where do you come from? Grow up.
Okay. Okay. Well, as first, I want to say I thank you also for the invitation. I
All
want to
right.
say it's been a while that I haven't been asked to, explain a little bit about what I am and what I am doing. And so I'm very thankful that you've been one of the first ones,
All right.
to invite me. My name is actually Tevin Gibbs. Tevin is my first name, and Kareem is my second name. That's what you see on Facebook. Um, I make reggae music. I'm a reggae producer, and I lived in Aruba I was born in Aruba, I lived there 20 years. And then after that, I came here to Holland to continue my journey. Um, let me see, I'm now 30 years old, and I live in Zaandam, close to Amsterdam in Holland. Grown up in the little district of Hooiberg, Aruba. Yeah, that's my hometown.
All
So,
right.
yeah, I'm a Caribbean guy, here trotting in the big countries, and still trying to represent my culture, in the music that I make, and also with the artists that I used to work with. So that's what I do.
Nice. Nice to hear the connection, from Aruba, Hooiberg.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I wanted to know a little bit about the type of music that you make. I see, I've been on the website, I see especially reggae music, sound system. But tell us from your perspective, who inspired you to get into music, and what genre that are you specialized in right now at the moment?
Okay, well, let's start with where I started. Um, from young already, I used to listen to a lot of music. Let's say from since I'm 6 years old, I used to see my father play music, and it's been something that has been always in the bloodline, music. And since my father plays an instrument, and he used to be part of reggae bands, Latin bands, and those kind of things, I got like the motivation to also start playing music within time. Since I was still too young, I couldn't pick up an instrument yet until I became, 17 years old. Or not say, I think a little younger, 13 years old, 14 years old. That's where I picked up my first instrument. And it was the bass guitar, so I wanted to start to play the bass. And from there on, also had like this interest in music. Understand? So I try to make my own reggae bands with classmates, students, and those kind of things. And we were always lacking a singer to like be part of the band, because I didn't have nothing to do with the philosophy back then and stuff like that. So I just wanted to play the music. And so on, within time, I got invited to, be part of real reggae bands on the island. And there is where my journey actually began. I was taught a lot of things around the reggae music. And I played with different types of bands, different types of reggae music, which I got the knowledge from. And I always wanted to make my own reggae music that was still in my heart. Reached the age of, I think it was 18 years old, I had to decide to come to Holland, to further my studies. And I had to leave everything behind, leave all the bands and the live performances, which was a little painful, but I knew that someday I would have picked it up again. And when I reached here, it was hard at beginning because you come into a new country and a lot of new people, new connections. You have to like basically start from scratch, from zero. And within time, everything that you want and you continue to fight for will come. So that's what I continue to do. I would say I came here in Holland 2013, and it took me a little 3-4 years before I could have really started to make my own music. And I started in 2016. That is when I started Fontoyard, the name that I carry. That's my artistic name. And yeah, that's how it all started. And that's how it all going.
All right. So I see a lot of like materials right at the back there that I believe you're working with. Tell us a little bit about that. How did that start? Working with new tools or production wise, how did that came together?
Well, like I would say, everything came piece by piece, huh? Because it's an expensive thing, and living in a country like you have to deal with a lot of other things that are priority, things to pay and bills to handle up. So it took a lot of time before I got everything that I have right now. But to make it short, I am mostly working with an analog mixer, 32, 24 channel analog mixer. And it's old school, really old school. Nowadays everybody is working with digital things, and you can basically have this whole thing, what you see here, in a computer. So it's what you want. But I chose to work analog because reggae music is old-fashioned music, and you hear the authenticness and the character in reggae music if you use old-fashioned gear. Understand? So I work with this, and then I have a few effects. Everything you see on this side are effects like reverbs and delays machines that are connected to the mixer also. And on that side, you see maybe a little rack. This is my sound system rack. And on top of it, there's a little turning table, which I play my records on. And there's where I can test my music, because I make records, my own records, my own vinyls. And then after, it's always nice to, play it on the machine, see how it sounds, see if I'm happy with it, yes or no, you know? So that's how it kind of goes, and that's what I use. And other than that, I have like in this big room, I can't really turn my camera all around, but I have my own studio booth on the left side, which I use to record vocals and little instruments. And I have a bunch of little percussion instruments, a bass guitar, guitar, normal guitar. And yeah, that's all I have here. I can't record drums where I am because that makes a lot of noise and you need special rooms for that. But I do with what I have. And the rest I get done out there. I normally have a lot of musicians also working with me in the Fontoyard family. So everything that I need to get done, I make a sketch of at home and I send it to them via email, and it gets done with, real instruments. And then it comes back to me, and then I fix up the music. And as last project, the last part of the process is mixing the song. So when everything is ready, it comes back, we mix the song, and then we can master the song, and then it's ready for the social network. That's how it goes.
Nice, man. It seems to me that you have managed to like make a living from music, or is it still in that phase that you are struggling? Because I see a lot of investment, a lot of hard work. So tell us about,
No,
your experience.
I would say I wish I could have lived from it, but that will maybe come one day. I must keep that as a goal, as a yeah, something that I'm working toward. Because reggae music, especially the type of music that I'm making, is very underground, and I think we want to keep it underground as well, because it's mostly talking about the truth of the world, you know, sufferation, and it's not always what people want to hear on the radio. So they don't promote it as much as other type of music, you know. So if it was that type of music, I think it would definitely pay off a little bit more, and maybe I would be able to make a living off of it easier. But I started to make reggae music with the love for making reggae music. You know, I just love to do what I do, and I try to put money aside. I don't like to look at money and what I can earn from it. You know, because I have another steady job from Monday to Friday. I mean, I'm not a musician full time, but I like to do what I do next to my steady job, and that is music, you know, and especially reggae music. So yeah.
So yeah, exactly. That's the important thing to get the perspective, you know, because most of the time we hear the Caribbean, you know, we don't have that opportunity that fast to get, you know, to get there, but there's always a way. And this is the
There's
type of
always a way.
stories we need to
Exactly.
inspire us to get going, you know.
True.
So for me, I wanted to know like which you say you mostly underground, but I see that you have a website going, you have a lot of things
Yeah,
there.
of
Tell
course.
us about
It's not like I want to keep my music
yeah,
underground. It's like, you know, I try to promote it as much as I can, but I know what the system accepts and what they don't accept, you know, and the system is like referring to the radio stations, things which people have control on to let the world hear or know or see, you know. And this music is mostly talking about the truth, mostly in our perspective. We see the world in a different way. So we try to bring our message in this music, and yeah, we try to promote it as much as we can. And we would like it to be played a little bit more on the radio, but it doesn't get so far. And we have another way of bringing it out, and that is those sound systems, you know, that you see. And that's why I make music. That's my purpose actually also. Make music for the sound system world, you know, because I know that they will push out the sound to the world.
exactly. And tell us about that. How does that go? Because I can imagine, you know, South System, a lot of live events. You know, how does that the music connects then with the people and gets further on instead of on the radio? Maybe you can tell us about that, how that flows.
Well, the difference is that in a dance, like let's say a party or a dance, the music is being played on very big speaker boxes and very loud, and everybody that comes to that dance gets the experience of listening to what, you know, certain producers made, or yeah, people that maybe don't get the chance to be on the radio, like I was saying, because music, the reggae music is the underground type of music. We don't get the chance to really shine on the radio. So that is where we get our chance to shine on sound system events, you know, where people come and witness a live experience of listening, of feeling the vibration of the music, you know. That's just the difference. A radio is mostly, they're mostly playing commercial music, mostly talking about love and how everything is supposed to be good and cool and calm. But it's not cool and calm in the world. There's a lot of things going on, you understand? And we are trying to put that message in the music that we make. And in order for we to get that music heard, we must play it on sound systems because we can't get it on the radio. You understand? If we would get it on the radio, I think um, yeah, I wouldn't know. If we would put it on the radio, it would make a change to the world, you know? It would make a lot of eyes open up a little bit more. But I don't know if the system wants us to do that or wants the majority to open their eyes, you know? I think the system just want to keep their hands over people's eyes and not let them see what is reality.
Exactly. And that's why, you know, especially small platforms like this, we try to connect people and let people know what's going on, you know. We have to connect with each
Exactly.
other and spread the message from there. So I want to know from you, like, what tips do you want to give people, especially right now, living in the islands or wherever they are, you know, to go into music production
What
and try
tips?
to reach their dreams?
Sorry,
Yeah.
once again, you were speaking a little bit.
So do you have some tips or, you know, some tips, suggestions, what you can do to motivate yourself to go into music production and especially in the genre that you are doing it right now?
Um, well, it's a weird thing because I grew up in it, so it became something vanzelf that I like, you know? And I would just give the tip for anybody that is just making music in general. Keep doing what you're doing and be unique. Don't try to follow nobody because I think that's something that you can see in my person, you know. I am not working with the trend. I am really old school and I wish sometimes that I was born back then, you know. But yeah, it is what it is, and I just love what I do. And I would advise everybody that does this, you know, just keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on going. Don't stop because if you stop, that's when you failed your mission. Complete it,
All
and there's
right.
a light at the end.
Thank you for the motivational words, man. I think this is very important for us, you know, to understand that we all have to reach the dreams, but we have to work for it too, you know. You have don't give up.
Exactly,
That's the thing.
exactly.
So
Like I told you before, huh? Like all these things is quite expensive to have. A big mixer it took me a whole lot, you know. I had to save maybe 6 months for it. But if it is something that you really want, you will have it one day because you are working towards it. That should be the motivation. And with my music also, you know, I started from the bottom. Maybe I'm here right now and there's still so much to reach. But the motivation is I want to reach there. So I will continue until the day comes. You know? Yeah. That's
can
the
you
whole
can you,
thing.
do you have like any closing words that you want to give us as the audience here in the islands, or maybe you want to, you know, represent some new projects that you're working on, maybe some new gigs that we don't know about. Tell us.
Um I'll just give a little promotional message to one and all, you know, check out Fontoyard, look out for Fontoyardmusic. I think 2023 will be the year that it will get a little bit more its name, you know, because I've been underground for a long while, or let's say underground, that you don't know of what is going on, where's the music and this, but there is a lot of music to be released this year, and a lot of beautiful things gonna happen. So I would say just yeah, keep the social media in check. And if you're also busy with music, you have talent, you can sing, feel free to hook up and send a message to me. I'm looking forward for collaborations also. You know, that's also a thing because like you said, it's good to keep the unity together, people working together, doing the same kind of thing, creativity. You know, it's good to come together because beautiful things can blossom out of that. So that's what I would say. And give thanks once again for the invitation and for giving me the little time to express and explain what I do.
Thank you, you know, for taking the time for me, especially, you know, living right now. For 2015, I came to Aruba, and my focus is to act, you know, get everybody a chance to speak, a chance to express, you know. And I see that mostly, you know, like you said, on the ground,
Mhm.
but we have to keep going and make sure that we spread the message. So I want to thank
Exactly.
you for the interview. Um, in Zandam. I used to live in Zandam as well, so I know the
Oh,
vibe there
really?
over there, man. I think that's a cool,
Okay.
a nice place to be in, and especially close to all of the events, reggae events. So I think that,
Exactly.
man, I can
Exactly.
hope to see you live one day. You know, sound system.
Well, that is the plan. Huh? The plan is next time I come to Aruba because I have
Right.
good connection with the guys from Rootsy Reggae Show
Yeah.
and those two. So I'm trying to organize that I can do a little performance, you know, somewhere outdoor, and I will bring my collection of music and yeah, how do you say, play it for my people.
All
So
right, all
that
right.
is that is the mission.
You know what? I have one last question for you. Like, which artist, reggae artist, whatever artist inspired you or is inspiring you right
Which
now?
artist inspired me?
Production-wise as well, maybe a producer or, you know?
Um, I don't really have one artist, but maybe a few artists. I would say I used to listen to a lot of music, you know, and bands that I would listen to like Steel Pulse, Gladiators, of course Bob Marley and Peter Tosh. There's too much to mention, but I used to listen to reggae music, and I can notice the difference, you know, in every band, what they like and what they play like and what they sound like. And that's what gives me inspiration in pulling out what I like out of those music and make my own music. You understand? That's how
All right.
I would say it. I don't really have one artist that that inspired me or so.
All right.
And
Nice to hear that.
of course,
Mhm.
other than musicians that played music, also music engineers, huh? Like
Yeah.
Lee Scratch Perry, Matt Professor, Just Shaka, and those kind of big pioneers. Those kind of also inspired me to get into the record industry and producing the music for Sound System World, you know? So yeah, that's what I would say.
Lose time in a Babylon. Chant me and chant forward. Get to you.